Welcome back to the deep dive. Our mission, as always, is to be your guide through some pretty complex source material and to, distill what really matters.
Exactly.
And today we're taking a scalpel to a very, very specific document. It's the Staicy Sport White Paper. We got a request from you, our listener, to do something very focused.
Yes. Very focused.
Just act as an impartial guide. We're going to be reading and interpreting the project's own stated goals, their achievements, and their future timelines. Nothing else.
That's the key for today. Absolutely critical. We are not going to be speculating on, market trends or how this fits into the broader industry.
Nope.
We are sticking, and I mean strictly, to the structure they laid out. We're going to move chronologically through their quarterly phases. So we'll detail what they claim has been completed in Q1 and Q2 of 2025.
What's already on the board.
Right. And then we'll meticulously outline the feature milestones, the user targets they've set, and the tech plans they have formally laid out for Q3, Q4, and then what they call the vision beyond.
So we are just decoding their roadmap, period.
That's it.
Okay, then let's establish the foundational claim right away, because honestly, it feels like the centerpiece of this entire thing.
It is.
Staicy Sport presents itself as an AI-powered sports betting prediction platform. It's built on a pretty specific tech foundation. It's on the base blockchain network. And its whole predictive engine, it relies on this sophisticated neural network technology that they developed in partnership with a group called Eagle AI Labs.
And that partnership is key. But then there's the big claim, the high-stakes claim. That's the ultimate selling point.
Right. The number.
The number. The document states, and this is explicit, that the platform delivers predictions that are approximately 25% more accurate than what they call the world's best human bettors and existing models.
25%. I mean, that is a massive figure.
It's the whole premise. Everything we're about to discuss, the timeline, every feature, it's all built on the idea that they can achieve that.
And if they don't, the whole timetable just kind of collapses.
Precisely. That confidence in that number is what drives this incredibly aggressive rollout schedule we're about to analyze.
Okay, let's unpack that enormous claim then. Because if the entire white paper is structured around hitting this 25% accuracy number, we really need to understand how the AI is supposed to do that. What is it even looking at?
Right. What's feeding the machine? The white paper is pretty detailed here. It says the algorithms don't just use, simple aggregate data. They leverage this really vast and complex array of inputs.
Okay.
And the success of the neural network, as they claim it, comes from its ability to weigh all these different factors at the same time and dynamically.
So let's start with the basics. What are the standard inputs? And then maybe we can move to the more complex stuff.
The foundation is, as you'd expect, the huge historical data sets. So historical performance data across different leagues, seasons, matchups. And then you layer on granular player statistics.
Standard procedure for any model, really.
It is. But that's just the raw material. Where they claim the neural network really shines is in modeling the qualitative stuff, the things that are, often unpredictable.
Like what specifically? Give me an example.
Okay, so we're talking about factors that change from one match to the next. They state that they incorporate metrics like team dynamics.
Team dynamics? How do you even quantify that?
Well, they say they're analyzing internal synergy, specific relationships between coaches and players, and how certain player combinations perform under, say, high-pressure scenarios. It's an attempt to put a number on team chemistry.
That sounds difficult.
It's extremely difficult. They also factor in real-time updates on player health, injuries, integrating status changes, and how that might impact the bench depth, literally as it happens.
Okay, team dynamics and injuries, I can sort of wrap my head around that. But what about things outside the team's control? The physical environment is always changing.
They say they handle that. They explicitly cite the integration of weather conditions. And this isn't just a simple, is it raining kind of thing.
Yeah.
No. It's more about how specific combinations of, say, temperature, wind speed, humidity, how that affects certain types of players or field conditions in different sports, that can have a huge impact on outcomes, especially in baseball or soccer.
And then there's the big one, the one thing that's almost impossible to quantify in sports. Momentum.
Yep. They list momentum as a core input. And in this context, they describe it as a really complex, short-term statistical metric that models the psychological shift and the sort of cascading statistical effects after a big event.
Like a string of goals or a
So-
key turnover.
Exactly. For a neural network to model that accurately, it needs incredibly high-speed data ingestion, and it needs to be constantly retraining itself. That's a huge computational challenge.
So it's not a static algorithm at all. It's constantly learning, constantly optimizing its own understanding of the game.
That's the idea. The document really emphasizes that the AI continuously learns. As new data comes in from every play of every game, the models are retrained. This constant recalibration is, well, it's critical if they want to maintain that 25% accuracy edge.
And a system that's this data heavy that needs to be constantly retraining these neural networks. I mean, that requires some serious computational infrastructure. The white paper is very specific about who's backing them.
They are. They list 3 strategic partners providing that foundation, which, it does lend some weight to their technical claims.
Who are they?
First, they've got support from Microsoft for startups. That gives them the cloud services and AI capabilities they need. Second, they're in the Google Cloud Startup and Scale program, which provides the critical data infrastructure for, handling that massive stream of real-time sports stats.
And the third one is the most specific, right?
It is. It's a partnership with the NVIDIA Inception program. This is crucial because NVIDIA is all about GPU computing. They provide the high-performance hardware that's necessary for running and, more importantly, for the rapid retraining of these complex neural networks.
So that trio, Microsoft, Google, and NVIDIA, it basically substantiates the claim that they have the resources needed for all that heavy lifting, modeling everything from weather to psychological momentum.
It connects their technical dream directly to the operational capability they need to pull it off. It's a key part of their foundational story in the white paper.
All right, now we transition from the foundation, the technology, to the execution. And again, we are strictly detailing what the white paper says has already been achieved. Phase 1, Q1 and Q2 of 2025.
This phase is labeled the kickoff strategy and the starting lineup.
So what did they accomplish in Q1, this kicked off strategy? Walk us through it.
Q1 of 2025 was all about laying the groundwork, legal, technical, and financial. The achievements they list show a project moving incredibly fast, from just a concept to being market-ready in about 3 months.
Okay, let's tick them off.
They list 7 key pieces. 1, the website launched at Staicy.ai, simple enough, their digital home. 2, the light paper was publicly revealed, which is that initial doc outlining the vision.
The teaser for the full white paper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
3, the technical partnership with Eagle AI Labs was formalized. This validates their whole AI development structure. 4, a foundational marketing campaign was initiated, getting the word out.
Makes sense.
5, the staking plans and membership tier structure were announced. This is critical. It defines the utility of their token, a Staicy token, before it even hits the market.
Giving early investors a reason to get
A
in.
very clear reason. 6, they announced partnerships with 2 major established sportsbooks, Cloudbet and Bovada. This is huge because it's not just branding. It validates their future B2B strategy, which we'll get to later.
And the last one for Q1.
Number 7, the pink sale presale was completed, and it's sold out. A sold-out presale validates that early investor confidence, and it secures the initial money they need for the token launch.
Wow. That is a very, very busy first quarter. They basically got all their ducks in a row before launching the actual product.
They did. Which brings us to Q2 2025, the starting lineup. This is the quarter where the project really goes live.
Right, this is where the rubber meets the road.
Exactly. Q2 is all about product delivery and market activation. The token becomes tradable, and the core prediction service starts up. They list 6 major accomplishments here.
That's first.
First, the Uniswap launch on the Base network, a very strategic choice. Launching on Base, which is backed by Coinbase, signals their focus on low fees and high transaction speeds. That's essential for a utility token.
So the Staicy token is now live and trading. What's next?
Second, Dashboard V1 was released. This is the first user interface. Third, the Staicy Sweepstakes feature launched, an immediate utility and engagement tool for token holders.
And they iterated on the dashboard pretty quickly, didn't they?
They did. Fourth accomplishment, they deployed Dashboard V2 with improvements right after V1. That rapid cycle V1 to V2 in the same quarter, it suggests they're really focused on user feedback.
Okay, so the platform is live, it's improving. But what about the actual predictions?
That's number 5, and it's the big one for Q2. The major proof point for the prediction engine. Staicy's Picks MLB predictions went live. Major League Baseball was the very first sport they covered, letting users test the platform's core promise.
And finally,
6th, the full-tiered membership system was activated. Light, Silver, Gold, Platinum. This officially connected the token's utility, defined back in Q1, to the live product. Now you need to hold Sexplore to get the best features.
So that's a powerful summary of phase one. By the end of Q2, they've got the tech, the partners, the funding, the token is live on a strategic network, and most importantly, they delivered the first live testable version of their product with MLB picks.
It successfully marks the foundational phase as complete, according to their own timeline, and it sets the stage perfectly for the really aggressive expansion they planned for the second half of the year.
Okay, now we shift gears completely. We're moving from what has been done to what the white paper says will be done. Phase two. First up is the Q3 2025 plan, which they've titled the Playoff Push. And the strategy here seems to be all about expanding beyond just one U.S. sport and, crucially, making the platform way more accessible to a mainstream audience.
You've nailed it. Q3 is the quarter of mass market enablement. The focus shifts from just stabilizing the product to aggressive user acquisition and adding more feature depth. The goals show a clear move toward multi-sport utility and automation.
So let's detail those expansion items for Q3. What's first on the list?
The first major expansion is that Staicy's Picks is expanded to soccer predictions. This is a huge strategic move because it immediately makes the platform appeal to a global audience.
Right, you're moving beyond the US-centric MLB launch. Soccer has year-round betting volume all over the world.
Exactly. And their user acquisition strategy changes in a big way this quarter, too. They're not just going after crypto users anymore.
How so?
Well, they plan for Web2 user marketing campaigns to be expanded. That's a strategic pivot. They're trying to bring in traditional bettors, people who might not know anything about crypto or the base network.
And they need a way to make that easy for them.
They do, which is supported by a massive accessibility feature they have planned for this same quarter. But first, let's talk about the new utility features.
Go for it.
They plan the release of the Parlays on Demand feature. Parlays are these complex multi-part bets that can have huge payouts. So an AI tool that helps you build high-probability parlays is a major upgrade.
A huge value add.
A huge one. And to make things more convenient, they're also launching the Staicy Sport Telegram bot, so you can check picks without having to log into the full dashboard all the time.
And this is the first time they introduce specific user targets, right? A metric for success.
It is. The dashboard user target for Q3 2025 is set at 500 active users. That's the benchmark for whether this product expansion is actually working.
They also seem to be adding a media component, blending the raw predictions with some interactive content.
That's right. Staicy Live V1 streaming commentary is launched. This gives you real-time discussion and analysis to go with the picks, adds a community feel, but the single most significant feature planned for Q3.
The one that underpins that move to the mainstream.
That's it. The enabling of fiat to Spertwort and direct user onboarding.
Okay, explain why that fiat integration is so absolutely critical to this whole playoff push.
It just smashes the biggest barrier to entry for mainstream users. Before this, you'd have to go to a crypto exchange, buy some crypto, swap it for SOS, set up a special wallet, bridge it to the base network. It's complicated.
A huge pain.
A huge pain. By letting you buy in with a credit card, with fiat, and onboarding you directly, they bypass all of that complexity. It makes getting a membership as easy as signing up for Netflix. And that is absolutely vital if they want to hit those user targets.
This quarter also seems to be where they introduced the first really advanced autonomous AI features, things that go beyond just showing you data.
Yes. This is where the platform starts to live up to its ambition as a real automated utility. First, they released Staicy Live V2 with enhanced features, building on that initial commentary launch. But the real game changer is the deployment of the bet mirroring feature.
Bet mirroring. Okay, unpack that for us. That sounds like a big step toward automation.
It's a huge step. The stated goal is all about user convenience and replicating success. It allows a user to automatically copy the betting patterns or strategies that the platform identifies as being successful.
Or even mirror the most successful users on the platform.
Potentially. Or even the platform's own treasury bets. This requires deep integration with their sportsbook partners, Cloudbet and Bovada from Q1, and some very sophisticated security. It's a massive leap of faith, letting the platform act for the user based on its own predictions.
So it moves beyond just giving you information to actually placing the bet for you.
Exactly. And if we look at the source documents context, November 2025, that means the project is likely wrapping up Q3 or just starting Q4. So these features, soccer picks, fiat onboarding, bet mirroring, they should be rolling out right now. That's the implied status, yes. Q3 is that critical ramp-up quarter. They have to prove the model works in a different sport. and, critically, that they can successfully merge traditional finance with their blockchain utility. It's the transition that has to work for Q4 to be possible.
Okay, let's move into phase 3 then, the victory lap. This covers Q4 of 2025 and then looks into their long-term vision. And I have to say, Q4 looks like the most aggressive period in this entire timeline.
It is, without a doubt. This is when they aim for comprehensive sports coverage and, frankly, explosive user growth. They call it the full season completion.
It's the moment where they're trying to cover almost every major betting market at the same time. The rollout of new sports in Q4 is incredibly rapid.
It's rapid, but it's also deliberate. They're timing the launches to line up with peak season activity, especially in North America.
Okay, so let's break down the Q4 2025 goals just chronologically as they're listed.
The coverage expansion starts right away. First, Staicy's Picks is expanded to NFL and NCAAF. That's pro and college American football, a huge high-volume market.
Timed perfectly for the fall season.
Precisely. Second, the Neural Bet Marketplace launches. Now, this is a new product they mentioned. It's a bit undefined, but it likely means some kind of peer-to-peer betting or maybe specialized prediction markets built on their core AI.
Interesting. What's next for sports coverage?
Mid-quarter, they expand again. Staicy's Picks expanded to NBA and NCAA, pro and college basketball. Now they've got the main winter sports covered.
And the streaming platform evolves again.
It does. Staicy Live V3 with advanced streaming is released, suggests maybe deeper data integration, multi-channel support, something more advanced. Then they add another major winter sport. Staicy's Picks expanded to NHL, hockey.
And they don't stop there.
Not at all. Sixth, they broadened the whole genre by adding a combat sport. Staicy's Picks expanded to UFC, mixed martial arts.
So that's, what, nearly 6 major sports added or significantly upgraded in a single quarter? That covers the entire North American sports calendar, plus global combat sports. That's a lot.
It's a ton, and this aggressive feature rollout is tied directly to a massive jump in their user targets.
Right. The white paper connects the dashboard upgrades to user adoption milestones. It's a planned exponential growth curve.
It is. With the Dashboard V3 release, which probably lines up with the NBA and NHL launch, the user target jumps from that Q3 goal of 500 up to 1,500 active users.
A 300% increase in one quarter?
It's huge. And then, shortly after, tied to the Dashboard V4 release, the target doubles again to 3,000 active users. The suggestion is that by the end of 2025, they expect this full suite of sports coverage to get them to 3,000 active members.
Q4 also has a community goal listed.
It does. A community meetup event is scheduled. It's an attempt to strengthen that core base with some real-world interaction. And the ultimate goal for the quarter is what they call the Dominate Every Bet full platform realization.
That's their term for being fully operational across all the planned sports and features.
Exactly.
So if we had to crystallize the single biggest goal for the end of the year, December 2025, what is it?
The white paper's commitment is crystal clear. By December 2025, the goal is to achieve full multi-sport coverage, and they specifically list NBA, NHL, and UFC predictions alongside MLB, soccer, and football. They want to have conquered the entire core betting ecosystem.
Okay, now let's look beyond the immediate 2025 schedule. What about the vision for beyond Q4? The long-term goals for 2026 and after seems like a pretty significant shift.
It's a dramatic shift. They move away from just acquiring individual users to focusing on high-value, high-complexity systems.
What are the goals?
Well, first is potential additional sports expansion. So, maybe niche leagues or other sports if the model works. Second, and this is way more important strategically, they target institutional partnerships. This is that B2B revenue model we hinted at.
And the third one is the most out there, the most advanced feature.
It is. They plan to develop advanced AI autonomy features. This means allowing the platform's own AI system to place its own bets to grow the treasury, basically acting as a fully autonomous, profitable entity.
Wow. So that autonomous betting agent is the ultimate endgame for the technology, turning the platform from just a service provider into a self-managing investment vehicle.
It's the feature that justifies all that heavy initial investment in the neural network tech. We should definitely circle back to the implications of that.
We will. But first, let's pivot to the economics. The entire ecosystem, from getting one pick to getting unlimited parlays, it all revolves around their token, the C-Sport token. We need to detail the fundamentals and how that tiered membership actually works.
For sure. The C-Sport token is the key that unlocks everything. The white paper lists a max supply of 105 million tokens, and it's natively built on the Base network. which, as we said, is a strategic choice for a low-cost, scalable environment.
And the white paper details 4 specific tiers. The cost is how much space sport you hold, and the features you get define the value. Let's go through each one, starting at the bottom.
Okay, the 4 tiers are light, silver, gold, and platinum. First up is the light tier. This one is their entry-level model, and it's free.
The hook.
It's the hook. It gives you just enough to see how it works. This tier provides a user with 1 daily pick, it grants 1 free sweepstakes entry, and gives you basic access to the dashboard. It's a loss leader, really.
Okay, so the first real barrier to entry is the silver tier, which requires a pretty significant token holding.
It does. The silver tier requires you to hold 75,060 MAU. And for that investment, the utility ceiling gets a lot higher. Silver members get 2 daily picks, they receive enhanced sweepstakes entries, and they gain access to priority features.
Which probably means early access to new stuff.
I would assume so. Then you move up to the mid-high tier, gold, which is a big jump in commitment.
How big?
The gold tier requires you to hold 250,000 up sport. The utility here is all about advanced betting. Gold users get 3 daily picks, they're granted 1 parlay per day, using that sophisticated parlays on-demand feature, and they have full parlay capability unlocked.
And finally, the top of the mountain, the platinum tier. Designed for the most serious users, the cost is high, but the utility is meant to be exclusive.
It is. The platinum tier requires the highest investment, 500,000 ports to $500,000. And this unlocks everything. Unrestricted access, you get all picks, unlimited parlays, and 10 extra sweepstakes entries. But crucially, this tier unlocks the most exclusive, high-value features.
The ones rolled out in Q3 and Q4.
Exactly. Staicy GPT, Staicy Live, MVP Chat, and eligibility for finals tickets.
Okay, let's elaborate on those exclusives. Staicy GPT and MVP Chat. What does that even mean in the context of a betting platform?
Well, Staicy GPT likely refers to some kind of generative AI interface. Maybe it lets Platinum members ask the neural network custom questions, run complex what-if scenarios, way beyond just the standard daily picks.
And MVP Chat.
That sounds like a highly exclusive, low-latency chat channel. Maybe direct access to their analysts or even developers for immediate insights or support. And then throwing in finals tickets eligibility is a clear incentive to reward the biggest holders with real-world luxury perks.
So the $500,000 CESPOR T cost is tied directly to getting maximum utility and that feeling of exclusivity.
Correct. But as we touched on earlier, the white paper details revenue streams that go way beyond just these individual subscriptions. Let's talk about the future revenue model, the institutional goal.
Right, the B2B vision.
This is their long-term, high-margin play. Beyond the retail consumer, Staicy Sport plans for institutional licensing. This means selling direct API access to their predictive models, that core 25% accuracy engine, to other major bettors, maybe hedge funds that focus on sports, and critically, to the betting platforms themselves.
That would create a massive high-value B2B revenue stream. It would totally diversify their income away from just relying on retail token holders. It's a classic data company scaling strategy.
And this institutional strategy is validated by those partnerships they got way back in Q1 2025. The white paper specifically notes their integration capabilities with established sportsbooks like Cloudbet and Bovada.
So those partnerships weren't just for show.
Not at all. They set the technical groundwork for licensing their core AI output directly to the industry giants. The goal is to make their platform the foundational prediction layer for the entire industry.
That strategic foresight partnering with the eventual end users of your B2B product right from day one, that seems like the silent key to their entire long-term vision.
It shows a very clear line from the Q1 partnerships all the way through to those beyond Q4 revenue goals.
This has been an incredibly detailed deep dive, and we've stuck strictly to that phased quarterly roadmap from the Staicy Sport white paper. We started with the foundational tech, the complexity of modeling momentum, and that critical 25% accuracy claim they say is backed by Microsoft, Google, and NVIDIA.
Then we walked step by step through the chronology. We detailed the foundational Q1 and Q2 achievements, getting the token live on base, launching the first MLB picks, establishing those key partnerships.
Right.
Then we looked at the aggressive Q3 expansion goals,
Right.
bringing in soccer, that 500 user target, the absolutely critical step of fiat onboarding, and introducing bet mirroring.
And finally, that Q4 sprint to full coverage, aiming for the Neuralbet marketplace and getting NBA, NHL, and UFC covered with that huge target of 3,000 active users.
The whole roadmap transitions the project from a crypto-native product launch into an extensive multi-sport platform that's targeting, high consumer adoption and eventually that institutional licensing. Each quarter serves a very specific purpose.
Toward achieving that dominate every bet platform realization, as they call it.
Exactly. And the final stage isn't just about prediction, it's about integration and autonomy. Which brings us right back to that powerful, final, long-term feature detailed in that Beyond Q4 phase, the goal of advanced AI autonomy features.
The ultimate ambition. A platform that doesn't just generate highly accurate predictions, but is programmed to act on them by placing its own bets to grow its own treasury.
Turning the prediction engine into its own profit center.
It's a huge leap.
The white paper makes the implications very clear. This transitions the system from just a predictive tool to a high-speed, self-managing financial entity that operates within the betting ecosystem. The final step isn't just providing an answer, it's demonstrating its own profitability.
That, according to the Staicy Sport White Paper, is the final compelling phase of their ambition. A system that decides, executes, and profits all on its own.
And that raises a really fascinating question for you, the listener, to think about. What happens to the entire economics of predictive accuracy when the AI that proves the model is also the one betting on its own results?